Hello, I'm Dr. Sandra Freihofer. Welcome to Medicine Matters. The topic, new vaccine recommendations from the April 2025 ACIP meeting. Here's why it matters. The first ACIP meeting under this new administration was highly anticipated. It had been scheduled for February, then postponed without a time certain. And finally, after a 2-month delay, a compressed version of this ACIP meeting was convened. 2.5 days of content were squeezed down to 2, with votes on 3 rather than 4 vaccine categories. A previously planned vote on flu vaccination was not included. The first vote was for a new pentavalent meningococcal vaccine. The recommended vaccine components, MenABCWY and MenB, were not changed, but having a combo vaccine is a patient pleaser and means 1 shot instead of 2. It's also a little bit cheaper. Remember that MenABCWY vaccines are interchangeable. MenB vaccines are not. The same brand of MenB must be used for all doses, including booster doses. ACIP voted to add GSK's pentavalent meningococcal vaccine, MenABCWY, brand name PenMenV, approved by FDA back in February, as an option when patients need both MenABCWY and MenB vaccines at the same visit. Pfizer's pentavalent version, Pembrya, had already received an ACIP thumbs up in October 2023. This means we now have 2 pentavalent meningococcal vaccines, each containing different MB formulas. The decision on which to choose depends on which MenB was selected for the series. The committee also voted to include it in the Vaccines for Children program. A second vote was for RSV vaccination for adults. Everyone aged 75 and older should get a dose. That didn't change, but the age range for the risk-based recommendation for those at high risk of severe RSV disease did, and was lowered from 60 down to age 50. Chronic medical conditions that increase RSV disease severity include chronic heart, lung, liver, and kidney disease, as well as chronic hematologic and neurologic conditions, and also being frail. There are 3 RSV vaccines currently available. Any product licensed for this age group can be used. Protein-based Arexvy and Abrezvo have already been FDA approved for the 50 and older age group. FDA's decision on Moderna's Imbrezvia for younger adults down to 50 is expected in June. The need and timing of boosters is still under study, so for now, only 1 RSV vaccine dose is recommended. The third ACIP vote addressed a chikungunya infection. A second chikungunya vaccine, ChikVLP, a virus-like particle vaccine, was added as an option for adolescents and adults aged 12 and older who are traveling to areas with active outbreaks of this mosquito-borne illness, and also for laboratory workers at increased risk of exposure. Also, a new precaution for those 65 and older was added for the other chikungunya vaccine, ChikLA, a live attenuated virus vaccine, brand name IXCHIQ. This change was triggered by 6 case reports of patients who suffered cardiac and/or neurological problems within a week after vaccination. All involved older people who also had other chronic medical conditions. The next step after ACIP voting is sign off by the CDC director, but on the day ACIP voted, there wasn't one. A new director, Dr. Susan Monarez, has been named, but not yet confirmed. She would be the first CDC director facing Senate confirmation. Dr. Monarez holds a PhD in both microbiology and immunology. She's not an MD, but she is a health scientist with more than 20 years of experience in health innovation. So those were the votes. Fortunately, even in the wake of the Richardson waiver being rescinded, time was still allowed for public comment at this meeting, and I certainly hope that continues. There was also a brief measles update. The measles outbreak is spreading, and half our states are now reporting measles. 3 people have died. 2 children in Texas who had no previous underlying medical conditions, and 1 adult in New Mexico. None of them had been vaccinated. As of April 2025, we've already far exceeded last year's 2024 total of 285 measles cases in the U.S. Understand we need 95% vaccination coverage for herd immunity. And in Gaines County, Texas, where the most recent outbreak began and is most concentrated, 2 MMR dose coverage is only 82%. The remainder of the discussion in this jam-packed meeting set the stage for more developments and more votes at ACIP's next meeting set for June. Here's what's anticipated. Possible narrowing of COVID vaccination recommendations, possible new changes for HPV and RSV and Mpox vaccines, a new monoclonal antibody to prevent RSV in infants, as well as updates on new candidate vaccines for Lyme disease and CMV, cytomegalovirus. We can only hope this June ACIP meeting happens on time and is scheduled. The first ACIP meeting of a new year is usually paired with the major launch of the 2025 adult immunization schedule. The Annals of Internal Medicine, as usual, published the new 2025 adult schedule along with an editorial citing their historical use. Vaccines have been used in this country for more than 2 centuries, dating all the way back to President Thomas Jefferson's early adoption of smallpox inoculations. The title of this editorial is an important reminder. Our founding fathers recognized the benefits of immunization. We need that same recognition today. For Medicine Matters, I'm Dr. Sandra Freihofer.